Welcome in, folks. I got to say, these next group of guests here is something that is kind of interesting how we all found each other to put this all together. I have Sarah Potter here from out of the cold Center County, and we have Steve Snyder here. Steve, we're going to get to you in a second because your role in this is pretty interesting. But Sarah, I want to start with you. Tell us a little bit about the organization Out of the Cold Center County.
So Out of the Cold started 10 years ago as a community effort. There was a homeless gentleman who died one winter. And because of that, the community came together and said, listen, we need something to change. We need there to be services in place in order for this never to happen again. And so in the last 10 years, our organization has really grown, and we are such a unique organization in that we are funded, we're a nonprofit, we're funded by the community, but we're also supported by 13 different faith organizations, and they host us as our overnight shelter sites. And it's just been amazing to see how the organization has changed, especially as how we've had to adapt during the pandemic. And what we are looking to do is to make sure that homelessness is a brief and one-time event for individuals in our community.
Yeah, I was looking at your website, and really you guys are helping with, I think the way it was phrased, the transition to more, permanent solutions. So helping for the temporary and trying to keep homelessness a temporary thing.
Correct. We don't want it to be a chronic situation. I know that it can be, but we're trying to come up with ways that we can provide resources or connect people with resources in our community and county that will allow that to be just a short time event.
And I think what's really neat is something you touched on is the fact that it's funded by the community, and then there's several different faith-based organizations that come together to make this possible. So it's really a full community effort to do this.
Definitely.
That's amazing. Steve, your role here is kind of interesting. I was scrolling through Facebook, folks, and I noticed a friend of mine shared a video where I see Steve's face, and he's reading from Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol.
The hour itself, said Scrooge triumphantly, and nothing else.
And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is nighttime, holidays. This feels like I could sit here and watch this. And I realized he was doing it, and it worked, to raise awareness about, Out of the Cold Center County. So Steve, tell us a little bit, what gave you the idea to read the Christmas Carol?
We're a family of nerds, and we love bedtime stories, and my wife Libby is the primary nighttime reader and has been for years with our kids. And as we got closer to the holidays and Christmas time, Libby said, Steve, why don't you read Christmas Carol? And so and when I read, and Libby does too, she's great with voices, but I love doing voices for characters. And so just was really leaning into it, reading for the kids. This was a week and change ago. And then Libby said, you should do this on Facebook Live. We should totally put this out. And so we said, yeah, let's do it. It'll be fun. And just thought it'll be a fun holiday thing to do. And then she said, she is clearly the genius of the operation. She should be in this interview. But she said, oh, let's do it for to raise awareness and funds for Out of the Cold Center County. Because we had just in our church video service, our virtual service this past weekend, there was an interview with one of our associate pastors, Mike Ozaki, and Sarah, and we learned about just in more detail. We had been aware of the organization and fully love it and believe in supporting it and trying to find ways to help raise awareness. And so Libby said, let's just put this out as a way to raise awareness and funds. And so we did, and people have been giving and getting excited about it, and we're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I gotta say, again, it just happened to scroll past it and see it. And folks watching at home, check out Steve's Facebook page. How many more parts are you doing? And of course, they can catch the previous ones because the videos are posted. But how many more nights are you doing it?
With 2 more. So we've been doing it in the Dickens original. It's published under what he calls staves, right? The chapters or the chunks. And so we're doing 4 nights total. Stave 5, the home stretch, is very short. So we're going to do stave 3 tonight and then 4 and 5 together tomorrow night.
Awesome.
At 8 p.m.
That's amazing. And folks, I encourage you to check it out. And of course, the main purpose of it, Sarah, how can people, while they're watching, I know the comments, we'll post details as well, how can they get more information on Out of the Cold Center County?
Yeah, so the best way to get more information is to visit our webpage, which is www.ootc3.org. And we have a donate button right on our webpage to make things easy. You also can mail checks to us directly at our PO box, and that's found on the webpage as well. And we are very thankful already for the generous support of our community over the past year and over this holiday season. But I was delighted to hear about Steve's own efforts to do this, and excited to hear. Last night I also found out another thing when I was scrolling on Facebook about another organization or a family that's doing something for us. So I just feel like in this tough year, we've really dug deep a lot of the community members and really shown a lot of compassion and giving back. And I'm really grateful for that. And I know our guests are too.
Yeah, that's the real true essence of it. And I think folks can really take from this that even virtually, you can still make a difference and share some information and help people out. Sarah, Steve, I want to thank you so much for taking the time and speaking with me today.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Merry
folks.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to both of you. I'll be tuning in to see Steve again on Facebook. We have much more still to come. Stay with us.
Studio